Welcome to the Not Greg. Fuck, that's not the name of it. Don't Make Me Greg podcast.
Don't make me not Greg.
Don't make me not Greg. I'm already not Greg. This is a very
Well, don't do it to me.
I won't make you Greg. It's all good.
Good.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, thank God.
This is a very, very special episode for me particularly. This marks exactly 1 year since I started the channel of Not Greg Gaming, or just Not Greg Now, whatever the fuck I'm calling it. So this is a big celebration for me. It's not.
Oh my God, he's so hot.
Oh shucks. It's not a lot of things. Like, I'm not one of those people that really, if I do a thing, I don't generally do it for a long period of time. I'll do it for like a month or two, and then I'll just gonna get bored and stop doing it. So this is like a huge deal for me, like personally, that I've managed to get through a year of doing this. Is something I've wanted to do for a fucking very long time. So
oh hey, are you me? Because I do that a lot too.
So
where you get super jazzed. I think it's an ADD thing. Or you have like ADD, ADHD. Where you get hyper focused on something. You get super jazzed, super pumped to do something, even if it's like a fun project. You're not being forced to do, and then you just like get about 40% into it, and you're like, eh.
Yeah.
Or something else takes your attention.
I seriously think I might have ADHD. I've never actually looked into it, but having a chat with like Ashton or Ben and yourself, it's like maybe I do, because like I tick a lot of the boxes. But this is like the first thing in a very, very long time in my life that I've actually stuck to for a long period of time. So this is massive for me, and I'm so thankful to be doing this sort of thing after a year. This is a fucking long-winded intro, but anyway, to celebrate that.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Big intro for a big deal.
Yeah. So to celebrate that, I thought there was no one better that I could have on for this 1 year celebration than my good friend, TheCrashTestGenius. Hi, Crash.
Oh, holy shit. Hi. That's a lot. It means a lot, man. Thanks.
No, it means a lot to me to have you on here, man, because from day one, from my very first video, you have been single-handedly my biggest supporter, like more so than any like family or friends, like people I know in real life, people I've known for 10, 15, 20 years.
What a bunch of assholes.
No, not at all. It's just, but out of everyone that I've ever known, you have been my biggest supporter from day one, which is why, honestly, I couldn't think of anyone better to have on for this very special episode. So thank you so much for joining me, man. Thank you so much for all you've done, man. I honestly wouldn't have survived this year without you. You've been just...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, honestly, you've been just that constant support there for me. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming on, man. Fucking...
Well, it's been easy because you're like, good at what you do.
Shut up.
It would be really hard to support you if you were shit, I
fucking hate compliments so much.
I can't have that kind of loyalty to somebody who's bad at what they do.
Oh.
No. I mean, I'm trying to remember, and it's been such a long time since I've been to the Let's Play subreddit. I used to frequent there a lot.
Me too.
I haven't been on the Discord channel in a long time, but that's when I was kind of starting off doing that kind of stuff for the 8th time, because I've been trying to do online content creation for like 10 years, kind of on and off.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking there, and I would watch people's posts on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays and stuff like that. And I would watch a lot of people's, and there are a lot of people that I met through there, and most of those people have fizzled out.
Yeah.
But you've stayed constant. But yeah, it was your Dark Souls videos that you were putting up, and I just thought it was funny, because honestly, the funniest part about it was that I don't know what your filming arrangements were, your living arrangements, but you were just kind of whispering and being very. It's like I said, it was kind of Dark Souls golf commentary when you were going through. It was very positive affirmations, spanking the booty, all that kind of stuff, but just kind of whispered gently into my ear the entire time, and it was just like, this is interesting.
So the way I actually like started out when my first like I think 10 to 20 videos doing the Dark Souls 3 playthrough, I was recording through my PlayStation. So I didn't have a computer at the time. I was recording directly through the PlayStation, and I had like a $30 fucking Turtle Beach headset, which if anyone knows headsets, Turtle Beach are pretty shocking. I don't think that's controversial, say they're pretty shit house. So I had this really shitty Turtle Beach headset, and I was recording directly through the PlayStation. So I had one audio track, so I couldn't like change my audio volumes. I couldn't change the audio volumes of the game or anything. So I was so concerned that I was going to be too loud. So there was like kind of like little whisper things, because like I had the microphone right up in front of me. And then I recorded the first like 10 episodes like back to back before editing it, and then I was like, oh, okay, it's a little weird. So then I kind of changed it up, and then just kind of over the time doing the Dark Souls, changed up a little bit until eventually I got a computer and I was like, fuck this, I got a microphone and I'll actually get a proper setup and shit. But yeah,
big boy now.
yeah. So that's why that I cringe so much if I ever look back at those Dark Souls videos now, because I'm like, even though it was like only a year ago, I'm like, man, I was so nervous.
What's up, H2 bros?
Like, I was talking to fucking Koiran about that in the last podcast episode, and I can't believe it's so cringe to me now. Like,
well, the thing is, when you're starting off, and I think you still do this, that you very much put forward that charity that I think you still have it in all of your descriptions.
Yeah,
that was like
water.org,
that you were kind of pushing that very much into the forefront of a lot of your stuff. That, like, you're saying like, I may not be making any money off of this. I'm starting off, but if anybody hears this, you should go to do this. And I think that's a very admirable thing to do, even with a very small platform and a small voice, to be using that voice for positivity. I think that's an admirable thing.
Yeah, well, it's one thing, like the whole like hydration thing. I don't do it as much in videos anymore because I get lost in the games I'm playing and shit. But it was always something that just kind of make me laugh, because it's very much like who I am as a person. I'm very big on like hydration, very big on drinking water. It was like, this is something that I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just like constantly told people to drink water, stay hydrated, and because I am so passionate about that as well, I was like, you know what, I can like reference charity as well. I can use this kind of joke in this character that I'm doing to kind of push people in a positive direction. Because it's something that I really admire in a lot of big YouTubers, like say like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. They're very charity focused, and that's like, I've done a lot of charity work my entire life. That's something that I want to do as well, and I want to get this channel to a point where I can make those positive changes, like those people that I admire and things that I've done in the past. So that's something that I really want to do, and it's really cool that you noticed that, man. Thank you. I thought for the longest time no one really noticed those sort of things, particularly in the description.
I mean, I don't necessarily look at every single description of every single video that anybody puts out, but it's one thing that I noticed when looking at your descriptions here and there, that was a thing that you would post.
It is in my, because you can do like a little like template upload, so it automatically fills it out. So I've got it in the template upload there, so it's on every single one of my uploads. A link to water.org, and letting people know that they should donate to it. And I've tried to do some like charity stuff through like Facebook and stuff before. Obviously last year it was very difficult to do any kind of like charity related things because everyone was fucking struggling. So I'm hoping within like I can gain a bit more of an audience and start doing that sort of stuff again. So fingers crossed, I suppose. I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm just happy that I can do this sort of thing and chat to awesome people like yourself. Speaking of the awesome person that is you, what have you been up to, man? I asked you before and you were like, nah, we're going to talk about it on the podcast. I'm not fucking telling you shit until we're speaking in front of people.
Well, it's lost content at that point. If that's the whole point of the podcast, is to chit chat. Then,
there's been so many times I've done this like podcast, and like for those listening, generally I do like a little like warm up chat. We'll talk for like 15-20 minutes before we actually start recording, just to kind of get, if there's any sort of awkwardness between it, just kind of warm up a little bit. And there's a lot of times that we're talking and there's absolute gold in there. And just this time we were talking for about 2 minutes and Crash is like, nah, we're fucking doing this. He's dropping bomb jokes left, right, and center. There was a dick joke in there somewhere that was really good.
Yeah. But that's lost to time. We don't have that anymore.
That's just for me and you now.
It's dick jokes in the wind. That's all it is. That's all we are.
So what have you been up to, man? You didn't tell me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when's the last time we actually like really chatted, even just like through texting or anything like that? Like, man, okay.
We talked like last week. I don't know if it was like a really like in-depth chat, like catch up, but we did talk last week.
So let's see. I think it was not last Sunday, but the Sunday before that. Or really, let's backtrack another 3 days past that. So let's backtrack about 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
My wife and I, our computer desks, both of our desks are upstairs in a bonus room that's above our garage. We also have like my drum set and stuff like that, but also we have bookshelves up here, and we have a bunch of board games. We have a bunch of books, and we have too many of both. We don't have enough shelf space. So we said,
Yeah.
what I could do, let's buy some new shelves, because all the shelves, the bookcases that we have were like hand-me-downs from like her grandfather or like my parents or something like
Yeah.
that. They were all things like that.
It's like everything
And
I
they were all-
own.
Yeah, some of them were really short, and so they were taking up a lot of wall space, but weren't giving us like, oh, there could be another shelf on top of this. We could have like, it's not the height that we could have. So I was thinking about changing my desk out, and that would give us more wall space, because for the last like 6 years, my desk has been an 8-foot long plastic white fold out picnic table.
Like a little trestle table.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a table. It's just like a $60. I bought it at Walmart. I needed a desk, and so I just bought that because it would fold up. And then I thought eventually I'll get a real desk. And then 6 years went by. But it's been nice because it's 8 feet wide, so I have a lot of space. But then it eventually turned into like 3 feet of computer stuff and 5 feet of just crap, stuff.
Yeah.
And so I bought a desk that was shorter. This one's only like 4.5 feet wide, and so it gives us space for another bookshelf, and then we were going to get rid of all the other bookshelves. So we were looking at, where should we buy some taller bookshelves? And we were looking around, and it's like, well, they sell some here at Walmart, but they don't sell like the medium size that we need. They sell ones that are like really short and then really tall, and we have an angled ceiling about 5 feet up the wall in our bonus room. It angles up, so we need something that's like, 5. If we could get something that was 5.5 feet tall, then it would use up that entire space. But everything was either like 3.5 feet or like 6 feet. There was no in between. So we started looking around, and eventually, of course, you go to the almighty IKEA, and we looked on there, and not only did they have taller bookcases, they had some that were more like 7.5 feet tall. Or maybe not that. No, it was like 6.5 to 7 feet tall. Yeah. But they also had ones that were shorter, but you could buy an extension that just like screwed onto the top of it, and it wound up making it perfect, like the perfect height to have to that angled area. Yeah. So we said, okay, we'll buy 3 tall bookcases, we'll get 3 short ones, and then 3 extensions. Boom! Now we have extra space. So instead of having like 2 short bookcases and 2 large, we've got like all this extra space. It's awesome. We'll take stuff off we've got like a poster or a cork board on the wall. We'll take that down and just use that wall for, so like we had this whole plan. We measured everything. It was all going to fit, especially with like my new desk. It was all going to work. So we went to purchase this stuff, and we put everything in our cart and went to check out, and it said, hey, do you want shipping to your house or shipping to the store? And the closest store to us is in Memphis, and it's like 3 hours north of us. And so I was like, ship to our house. And they said, okay, cool, that'll be $200. I was like, I'm only buying $300 worth of product. I'm not going to pay $200 to ship $300. That's bullshit. If I were buying something to like have a built-in in my living room that was going to be like $1,600, then I'd be like, sure, send all that stuff down. But I was like, no fucking way, I'm going to pay for 6 bookcases and pay basically 2/3 of that in it, like extra for shipping. So I said no. And then they said also like, by the way, one of these bookcases isn't in stock. I said, it says that 6 of them are in stock in your store. I put 3 of them on my cart, ergo, I should have them. And they said, no, it's not there. And we looked up online, and apparently this is a hassle that they have, because IKEA is stuck in like 2009 for their internet shit. That if somebody adds something to their cart on the store, it locks that out for anybody else. So if you can have a bunch of people, you can have like 6 items in stock, and 1,000 people can put them in their cart, but then nobody can check out because it says that they're all like locked down or something weird like that. But it apparently empties out the carts or resets them every night at like 3 a.m. So somebody was like, check the next day, and it may like empty out people's idle carts, or they may just get a new shipment. So we were looking at stuff. I guess that was like Thursday. I checked Saturday, and it was still out of stock. I woke up Sunday to record, because I usually do a stream Sunday morning, and it just on a whim, I was like, let me check and see if it's there. And they had 40 new bookcases.
Oh my God.
I was able to put them in my cart, and I went down, I woke my wife up and I said, hey, do you want to take an impromptu trip to Memphis today? And she was just like, I was like, they're all there. We could do this. So I didn't stream that day. I made the purchase, and I said, we'll pick them up. We got on the road like 20 minutes later, and we drove 3 hours north, barely fit everything into our car, folding down the seats, and then my wife in the passenger seat was sitting all the way up, was basically sitting in the dashboard. Drove 3 hours all the way back. We have everything down. It's been now sitting, all of those boxes have been sitting in our living room for like 2 weeks. So finally, last weekend we were busy with stuff. This weekend we finally had some free time, and so I bought this desk that's just like a flat desk. Oh, what happened here? Oh, did my recording? No, okay, we're good.
No, you're still good. You're still good.
We're good. So we built the desk. We have now all of this wall space free that we're going to start building shelves. But we had to take all of the bookcases, all of the books and games off the bookcases. And I don't know if you know this, bookcases, much like skyscrapers, are a brilliant evolution of, oh, we need to put this thing in a space.
Yeah.
Because you just build up into the air. You're not using that airspace, just build up. And then when you take all of your books and games and stuff like that, or DVDs or movies or whatever, albums, out of a bookcase and put them on the ground or on a bed, it's like, fuck, this takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
We have so much stuff.
Dude,
so right now,
I don't know if you know, I have a collection of about 900 DVDs. And
oh God.
Every time I have to move house, it's a fucking nightmare. Like,
that sounds awful.
Yeah, I have like 3 moving boxes that are just full of DVDs. Plus that I've got like PlayStation games, books, and then everything else that I own as well. But generally, because when I move house every few years or so for some fucking reason. I'll move everything by myself, and I've got like a little hatchback car, and I'll always do at least 2 trips just for like DVDs, books, and video games, just because I have so fucking many. But then when you look at them, because they're in the bookcases, it doesn't look like much. But 900 DVD cases is a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did mean to interject.
No. Well,
it's
a long-winded story.
Oh, I just wanted to empathize because, like, yeah, I know that all too well.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when my wife and I first got married, we moved, I think 3 times in our first, like 15 or 16 months of marriage. We moved from our apartments that we were living in to a rental house. We moved out of that rental house like 6 or 7 months later because it was having a mold problem. Yeah. We moved into my great aunt's house who wasn't using it. We lived there for about 11, 12 months. I think it was maybe a full year. We lived there for maybe a full year. Mm-hmm. And no, it was less than because it was like September through... Yeah, it was less than a year. And then we bought this house and we moved again. So we paid our friends in a lot of beer and pizza, and they are fucking sick of us, and they're never helping us move again. They were like, we will pitch in and rent some burly dudes whose job it is to pick things up, and we will show up and we will watch them do it, but we are not going to help you move again. I was like, that's fair. We moved a lot, but we're good. We're good now.
I always like move myself after I had some help, like when I had like a bed and shit, and I had like a friend with a ute help me. A ute, like a flatbed truck. I don't know what the fuck you call it in the States. We call it a ute. And I always had like a friend help with like the big stuff, but then I generally take all the little stuff in my little hatchback and do like 20 trips or so. And then this last time that I moved house, I had like 2 fridges.
God.
2 fridges and fuck, there was something else big. I can't remember now. And my ex-girlfriend's mum literally drove. She lives like 2 hours out of town. Literally drove 2 hours from out of town to come help me move my fridge and shit, so I could get the fuck out of her daughter's house.
I mean, thanks, but also, yikes.
I didn't pay them or anything. So like, yeah, my ex-girlfriend's mom and her brother. My ex-girlfriend's brother, that is, came to help, and I live on like a 2nd story house, so my ex-girlfriend's brother helped me carry my 2 fridges up the stairs and everything, and I was like, all right, thanks guys, like we've been hanging out for the past 4 years, but you've helped me move out of the house now, bye forever. And yeah,
I haven't
seen them in like 7 months since then. Didn't pay him a cent or anything.
That's kind of weird, but at the same time, that's nice of them to do that.
It was. It was straddling between like, this is really, they are really nice people. I do want to say they're very, 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 very lovely people, but it was kind of like on the brink of very lovely and also, can you please get the fuck out of my daughter's house? So,
yeah, and it's yeah.
Sorry. So continue with your story.
Oh right. So we got the today we went. So today was just like a whirlwind of stuff because like taking the dog to get like his heartworm medicine and like yearly shot for something. Mm-hmm. Taking a bunch of clothes that my wife has been throwing out because she's trying to clear out her closet, taking that to Goodwill for donations. It's just been like, today's been a whirlwind of just like checking things off a list that we're finally getting around to like doing, like fixing some shit around the house that we've been needing to do. But we gave the 2 tall bookcases, which were in good repair, to my wife's parents because they're gonna use them. They need to replace some stuff in one of their rooms. And then the other 2 were just like Walmart small like particle board. We just like broke them down, threw them in bags, and put them out on the street. Just don't care.
Yeah.
So
not useful.
So, but then having those bookcases and my desk off of the wall is like, oh my god! Like, look at the outline, where the bookcases and everything is still like beige carpet, and then right around the edges it's like kind of almost like a blue gray with the dust accumulation, like right up to the edge kind of a thing. And so came up here and vacuumed and swept, and I've just got stuff. We've got stuff all over the place, and so but we're taking the first step. We've at least we if nothing else, we are going to follow this through, because now it's such an inconvenience with all of our stuff covering the couch, all over the floor in one of our bonus rooms, all over the floor in one of our extra bedrooms, all over the floor and dining room table. We don't have a place to eat right now. So like, it's just like, now we have to take care of it now. We forced ourselves into a position where we have to take care of it. So we're slowly making progress with that. So that's been going on with us.
That's always like a good sort of thing to do when you need to clean, is like,
it feels so good to check things off of lists.
Inconvenience. No, but I mean, like, when you really need to clean something, make it an inconvenience for your everyday life, so you have to fucking do it. Like, I can't think of any sort of I guess with like washing clothes, like that's the thing that I've been struggling with a lot very recently, is like keeping up with my washing, because I don't know if you know, I got a puppy recently.
Yay!
Oh, Cecil, he's chilling at my feet right now, which is nice because he's been a bit of a dick this morning. Having a puppy, man, like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, when you have a puppy, it's just like having a baby. And I was like,
no.
It can't be that bad. It is exactly like having a small child. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like, he'll wake me up at like 4 a.m. in the morning. Like, he woke me up at 4 a.m. this morning, just because he wanted to play. Just because he's just like, it's playtime. And I'm like, it's 4 a.m., man. I was sleeping. Why are we like, he'll wake me up in the morning, and I'd be like, oh, he wants to go outside and do his business. So I like put on his leash, took him outside, and he's just like, no, it's playtime. And I'm like, no, it's fucking 4 a.m., man. Like, do your shit, have a little wee, and then we go back inside. which he does every other day. Like, he'll wake me up at 5 a.m., I'll take him outside, he'll do his business, and I'll come back and go back to bed. But this morning he was just like, no, it's playtime. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you for real right now, dog? You woke me up at 4 a.m. because you wanted to play. And I feel so bad because, like, I can't get angry at him for that. Like, he's just a puppy. And then I was like, okay, I'll take him for a walk. And he didn't want to go for a walk. He wanted to play. I was like, fuck, man, I can't play with you at 4 a.m., man. I'm too tired. It's exactly like having a baby, man. They're gonna do what they want to do, and I'm completely at his whim.
I will say that comparison eventually does hit a wall where you flip over to the other side, and it no longer is true. We've had our dog for about 4.5 years, and my older brother has 2 daughters, and the oldest one, my oldest niece, is about the same age, about 4.5. And I can sit down with my niece at this point and explain why she shouldn't do X and like reason with her. Yeah. I can't do that with the dog. I wish I could. I wish I could go, look, you can't continue doing the thing that you've been doing your entire life because we fucking hate it. Yeah. You can't just, you can't bark whenever anybody comes over. You can't lose your goddamn mind. Dude. Like, I know you're excited, but it's so loud. It's so loud it hurts my ears.
Cecil, he does that too, because like I've got one of the sides of my house is like on, two of my sides of my house are on like a main road. And there's like a petrol station or gas station, whatever it is, like right out front of my house.
I gotcha. I'm translating in my head.
So there's constantly like, people like walking up and down the street and shit, because it's a main road. It's right near some shops and like a gas station, and he will just sit at one of the sides of the house, which is just all windows, mind you, and he'll just sit there, and anyone that walks past, he'll just bark at him. And it's not like a hey friend. It's like a, hey, get the fuck out of here. No, you're not allowed to walk past here. This is my fucking house. And I'm like, dude,
this isn't a shop. Someone lives here.
Yeah, I was like, Cecil, chill the fuck out. But he loves people. Like, if people come to visit, he is like all over them. He just loves fucking people. When we're going for a walk, if he sees a person,
whoa, what?
Loves people. But no, not like that. You fuck.
Got him.
God damn it. But yeah, just people walking past the house, he gets super fucking protective. Which, I mean, he's a blue heeler, so that's like a very natural thing for them. They're like working like shepherd dogs, so they're very protective. And extremely loyal, man. Like, he'll just follow me around everywhere. I'll get up and just go to like get a glass of water or go to the toilet, and he'll just follow beside me. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to follow me everywhere. Like, we're in the same house, man. No matter where I go, we're in the same house. And he's just like, nah, man, I'm gonna come watch you pee for a bit. And I'm like, okay, Cecil.
My breed is a healer. I do what my name says.
Well, that's actually not what the term blue healer means.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, educate me.
They're actually called blue heelers because what they will do, because they're shepherding dogs, they herd sheep, and they actually nip at the sheep's heels. So they'll actually nip the heels of the sheep to get them to move forward. And he does that to me all the fucking time too. So if I'm like walking and he's walking behind me and he wants me to hurry up, he'll bite at my heels, and it kind of gives you that like, oh fuck, okay, oh hold on, I'll hurry up. So that's very fucking annoying. And then if I go to visit my parents, they have a blue heeler as well. So they're from the same breeder, just about a year older. And if I go outside to hang out with them, then I'll have two of them fucking nip at me at the heels. Cecil's only a little puppy at the moment, but then Jack, who's my parents' dog, funnily named after Jack Daniels, because of reasons. So I'll have the two of them, but he's a big dog, so I'll have a little puppy nipping at my heels and a big dog biting at my heels. So it's tough to hang out with them, but god damn it if they're not fucking beautiful dogs, man. But I'm so tired, Crash. What type of dog do you have?
We have a Yorkie, and he's big for his breed. So Yorkies, the males usually only they're pretty small. They're like 3 to 4 pounds, and the females would be like 7 or 8, maybe up to 10. He's like 14.
Oh, that's
as a male.
The really hairy dogs.
Yeah, well, they can either, you give them, we normally keep him with a little puppy cut.
Oh, okay.
Also just because his hair won't get matted as much. But yeah, they're the ones that they'll have, it's like a walking, it'll look like a walking silk like a mop kind of thing. Yeah.
They kind of, with short hair, because I didn't know what Yorkies look like, so I kind of just Googled them here. Kind of look a bit like Maltesers. Not Maltesers, Maltesers. The breed of dog. That always pissed me off, because I had a Maltese growing up. This beautiful little Maltese cross Shih Tzu. And his name was Eddie, named after Eddie Guerrero, funnily enough, the professional wrestler, if anyone knows. Because I got him probably about like a month after Eddie Guerrero passed away, and I was a huge fan, so I was like still really crushed up about it. And I was like, can we name him Eddie? And they were like, my parents were like, fucking sure. Why? Yeah, don't care. It's a fucking dog. Like, you call him whatever you want. So I was like, Eddie.
Just make it consistent. That's all they care about.
Well, I originally wanted to call him Teddy. And I don't know why, but my parents were like, my mum was like, this is a direct quote. Okay, this is not my opinion. I'm just directly quoting my mother, who is from a very different generation. She's in her late 60s, so very different generation. When I said I wanted to call my dog Teddy, she was like, no, that's gay. And
I was thinking it really loud. I was like, no son of mine's gay.
Yeah, but not like how like teenagers will be like, no, that's gay. Like she meant it as like vitriolic. And I love my mom, but
like people eventually, you get to a certain age and you're just kind of like, this is how I am.
Yeah. That's pretty much my parents.
Sometimes.
They're in their late 60s. They're like, this is who we are. We're not fucking changing. The rest of the world can change, but we are who we are. And I'm like, this like liberal, free, fucking millennial, like clashing with these old school boomers constantly. Like, I can't talk about politics or anything with my parents because it's just so wildly different. And it's very frustrating, but what are you gonna do? Happens. You had some stuff. I wanted to address it kind of early on because you had some food, and I feel like it's probably cold by now. So
I mean, I don't know if that's okay. It's still we'll get to it.
I mean, it doesn't overly matter, but yeah, it is what it is. So, you've been on the podcast before.
I have.
I can't remember what episode it was. But it kind of was the beginning of me talking about food on every single podcast.
And you know what? I apologize. I feel like that's me to blame. I love talking about food.
Me too. I mean, I fucking love food so much. Like, it actually drives me crazy because I've been dieting a lot recently. So I'm eating a lot less food than I usually would. And it's killing me. So talking about food is great. But you kind of started that trend, and I think every single podcast since the one you've been on, I've talked about food for at least like 20 minutes. But we talked like briefly about Australian foods, and you, the little scamp you are, went and actually got some Australian food. So I did. You could try them like. I was going to say live on the podcast, but this is not live.
I mean, it's live. Podcast. It's being recorded, but yeah, I've got two things. I've got one thing actually up here on the desk right now, and then the other thing I have downstairs because I wanted to ask you how best to prepare it. But I have, and this is still in the wrapping. It still has this tape. It's in a glass jar, so it actually has like a fragile thing around it. I have a jar of, not Marmite. What's the other one? Vegemite. I have a jar of Vegemite, and I have some toast, and I have some butter. And we're gonna fucking try this, like right now. I'm cracking it open right now.
Fuck yeah! I'm so glad that you've got the toast and the butter though. Like you're not doing that like classic American thing. Well,
that's how it's supposed to
go,
right?
Some Americans just like get it and just take a spoonful, and they're like, oh, it's like Nutella. It's like chocolate. It's like it's not fucking chocolate. It's basically like
yeast extract.
Yeah, it's basically like soy sauce as a paste.
It is barley, wheat, salt.
It's mostly
malt.
Salt. It's mostly salt. It is like so much salt, but it's delicious. I think when we finish this podcast, I'm going to walk up to the shops and get myself some Vegemite because I don't have any. I am wearing a Vegemite hat right now though. I've got my own.
You gotta represent. You gotta keep the stereotype going.
Man, I try to wear it. I try to wear it as much as I can. I think on my last few videos, I'm actually wearing it because I love my Vegemite hat.
Dude, this is a substantial jar. I like this. You could kill a man with this.
Oh yeah, they're thick jars.
You could pitch this through a windshield.
Oh man, this is making me hungry.
All right, I'm about to crack this open, and I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna try just not a spoonful, but a smidgen. Just by it. No, I'm gonna try a smidgen, just like a dip my little pinky finger in there and just see what it's all about.
Would you take a shot? I
just want to see it, and then I've got 4 pieces of toast here, and we're gonna start with a lot of butter and a little bit of Vegemite, and I'll work my way up, and we'll see what scale I sit on, because that was one thing you were talking about.
Yeah,
when we did talk about this.
There is a scale. I'll see if I can find while you're doing that. There is like a legitimate scale to it.
Let me move this in the way. Okay, butter over here.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a great picture. I'm gonna try and remember to put this in the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Spotify, fuck yourself. Or listening.
Okay.
So yeah, here is.
Oh my God. 6 is a little rough.
That. Funnily enough, 6 is what I am. Like when I eat Vegemite, I'm a 6. I don't put any butter on, and I slather that fucking Vegemite.
It's almost like having black coffee.
You could like. With the Vegemite like toast that I have, you could like throw it against a wall and it would stick. I fucking love Vegemite so much, man. So I'll put this image up on the YouTube video. If you're on podcast listening, if you're on the podcast, if you're on Spotify,
get out of here.
Just Google Vegemite scale, and it's literally the first image. It's like a jar of Vegemite and 6 pieces of toast around in a circle
that are slowly getting more and more infected by the void.
So I think you should start off with like a 1. I definitely would recommend you.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got some butter. I've got 4 pieces of toast. All right, let's crack this open. Here we go. Ooh. And I don't know if it even has like an odor or anything. Oh my gosh,
It does.
Ooh, what is it? It smells like a jar of bread because it's yeast. It's yeast extract. It's yeast and barley. It smells like a jar of bread, but not in the way like beer can smell like bread. It smells like Interesting. Here, I'm just gonna. Oh my gosh, it's very. I was not expecting it to be. It's solid. This is.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is.
It is thick. That Vegemite is thick. It's not creamy like peanut butter or like Nutella. It's quite a thick paste.
It's almost like it has a texture of like. I'm trying to think what even you could like. It's almost like a jar of like nice chocolate that you would spread on. So like that's kind of what it's looking like. It's like hard. If you were to get like make some dessert with a really nice chocolate that's like poured over it and let that harden, it kind of has that consistency. Okay, here I've got a small pinky. It's barely any. We're not even talking like This is like a quarter of a thimble kind of a thing. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that hits immediately.
Yeah.
Wow, that is what? What is that? That is so interesting. Okay. All right. Now that I know what we're getting into, that's pretty good. That's unlike anything I've had before.
It's so unique.
So I've got some butter here. We're gonna do butter on toast. Oh, little butter on toast ASMR. Don't come.
Dude, I think you severely underestimate how much I fucking love toast. I love toast
there we go.
so much.
I haven't had toast in a long time because we don't have a lot of bread in the house because my wife has a gluten thing.
Oh, true.
So, all right. So I'm gonna get a little bit of this, and we're gonna take it easy. I will tell you about what number I have right now.
I love toast so fucking much. I think that's why
it's really good.
I gained a lot of weight when it was like about last year. I gained a lot of weight, and it's just because I was just eating toast, like just Vegemite toast, peanut butter toast, almost every single day. I'd have at least 4 bits of toast, up to like 10 throughout the day, because I just love toast. It's so fucking.
Do you make bread? Are you one of the people that much in the quarantine discovered bread making?
I wanted to. I foolishly do this thing. I'll say to my mom that I want to do something, and she'll immediately go out of her way to get me the thing. So I was like, I'm kind of thinking about like making bread at some point. The next day she rocks up my house with like a bread tin. She's like, here's a bread tin so you can make your own bread. I was like, no, I just said I was thinking about it. Like I didn't want to.
My wife's mom is the same way, that she'll mention something and like the next day it'll be like, I went and bought you 6 of them, and it's like.
How do you think I ended up with Cecil, man?
Well, I know that's
how I ended up with the dog.
Thing. It's not maybe a thing with your mom as well, that there are different, like, I don't know if you've heard like of the different languages of love, like how people display their affection, not necessarily romantically, but like for other people. And one of them, I forget what all of them are, but one of them is probably like touch. Like being like hugging a person or something, like that's how they patting somebody on the back, like that's having some sort of physical positivity towards people. But one of them that is 100% my mother-in-law is gift giving. Is being like providing you with something, giving you something.
That is 100%
so that's
my
definitely
mom too.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get this bread. Okay, I thought I put not a whole lot. We're starting at, I believe this would be like a number 4.
No, dude.
I didn't. I can always backtrack. I can always take a step back. I've got a drink up here. I just took a little bit of it, and I kind of thinned it out a little bit. I think I'm starting off at about a number 4 right now. So I'm going to take a little.
We're jumping in. All right.
Here we go.
The suspense is killing me.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It's not bad. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But is it good? Do I enjoy this? It's so weird. I'm gonna take another bite. This is confusing, is what this is.
You gotta have a few tries.
I'm eating an enigma. That's so bizarre. It's growing on me, but like, it's so. Here's the thing. It's so unlike anything that I've had before that I'm having a hard time explaining like why.
That is
I like
really
it. Like what flavor profile I'm tasting.
That's what I like. Not so much like I love the flavor of Vegemite. I love the taste of it. I love the nostalgia.
It is really good with butter. I will say that the kind of richness and the fattiness of the butter.
Yeah, that's why I generally say
mellows it out and does a good job balancing it very well.
If you've never had Vegemite before, you have to have it with butter because it is a really, really strong, salty taste to it. Don't make a joke out of that. Don't make a joke.
Yeah.
It is really, really, really rich in sodium, so it's really salty, very bitter, and having that butter really cuts through it. I personally don't have butter with it, and even some Australians call me...
Because I'm not a bitch.
Well, some Australians call me weird for that. I don't know if I mentioned this on the last recording we did. The podcast.
Yeah. When we were talking about this, I think it was I looked it up. It was episode 7.
Episode 7. So this is 13 now. When I was like chatting up some girls on Tinder or something, and one of my pickup lines was like, how do you like your Vegemite? Are you like a light lather, or you like full smother it in Vegemite? And that was my pickup line. And eventually we got to talking, and I was like, do you have butter or don't you have butter? And this girl was so disgusted by the fact that I don't have butter on my Vegemite toast. And then I started like asking around all my friends, I'm like, am I weird for not putting butter on my Vegemite toast? And it's literally about 50-50. Some Australians think it's disgusting to not have butter on it. Some think it's perfectly okay. So
yeah,
that's one of those things. But I recommend if you've never tried it, always do it with butter. And like Crash said, work your way up to the 6. Don't just start at 6. Start at 1. Start at 4. Start at 3.
So it's difficult. I'm looking at like how they're like, I don't know how they're getting number 1 and 2. It looks like a mistake. It looks like there was a Vegemite explosion and there was a little bit that splattered on somebody's toast from like a mile away, and they were like, this will work. Like, I don't know how they're doing that, because I'm trying to spread a thin layer. This is like more like a 3.
Okay.
So as best I could get, so we're gonna try a 3.
So you've gone for a 4 to a 3. I reckon you should give like a 5 or a 6 a go.
Yeah, it's a lot more butter there. I can taste the butter a lot more. It's so instead of the butter, the difference between the first piece and this piece is in this one, I can taste the butter a lot more. It's not being as overpowered with the first one that I did, which was, like I said, about a number 4. There was more like a complimentary type thing, but it was very much Vegemite with a little bit of mellowness from the butter, but I didn't necessarily taste the flavor of butter here. Yeah. I'm tasting both flavors kind of equally.
That description of like the butter mellowing at the Vegemite and kind of melding into one flavor, that's what I would describe as like Marmite, which you briefly mentioned, which is like
I was going to buy those. I was about to buy that, and then I was like, I don't know the difference. And we talked about Vegemite, so I got that. But
Marmite
once again,
is English.
Educate me, a foreigner, comparatively.
Well, Marmite.
What is the difference?
Marmite is English, so that actually originated in England, and a lot of Australia.
So did you.
Well, no, I'm Australian.
No, I know. Just a joke.
a lot of Australia was like founded by the English. If you believe Australia exists and all that bullshit, I'm not going to get to that. Australia is a real place. If you don't think so, then turn off
New
this
Zealand
podcast.
is not.
That is confirmed. About the Not Greg. I forget the name of this podcast. Don't make me Greg podcast.
Don't make me New Zealand.
Official stance is New Zealand doesn't exist. I've been to New Zealand, lovely place. But yeah, so Australia was founded by English colonists and shit. There's a whole history I'm not getting to. But Marmite was a thing, which is a very mellower form of a yeast extract like Vegemite. So it's a lot more mellow, and it tastes a lot like the butter mixed with Vegemite. So it mellows it out. It's not that strong sodium sting that Vegemite has. It's a lot more mellow. So that's the real big difference. And then, from that, Vegemite became a thing in Australia, and it's just a stronger version of Marmite.
It's an Australian version of the original.
Yeah.
It very much fits like kind of y'all's.
That's pretty much our entire history. Everything
I think for
a better
like
version.
for here in Mississippi, and then also like around the South, maybe like this is more of a Texan thing. My dad is originally from Texas, so I kind of get a little bit of this. It's we have yeehaw, and y'all have oh yeah. So I think we have kindred spirits.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's nah. Nah, yeah, nah.
Nah, yeah.
Do you know how to tell the difference between nah, yeah, and yeah, nah?
Isn't it? It's what the second one is really what you're saying. So nah, yeah is yes, and yeah, nah is no.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's nah, yeah is like No,
But
but yes.
that seems so inefficient that you would just say yeah or nah.
Well, it's not.
That's how I look at it. Like, this is inefficient. Why don't you just use a one syllable?
Well, it's not generally like nah, yeah. It's more like nah, yeah, or yeah, nah. Or yeah, no, it's fucking hard. It's so weird when you describe it.
It's coming from a nationalistic stance of just sarcastic.
We are fucking sarcastic people, man. It's so fucking annoying. Like, particularly just like trying to date or something. You're like, did you mean to be a bit of a dick there, or are you being sarcastic? I don't know. This is it's so stressful being Australian, man. It's so stressful.
I would respond, but I'm eating Vegemite right now.
So you've done your 4, you've done your 3. Do you want to try and give like a 5 or a 6 a go?
Well, that was a little bit less. I'm still not able to, like, looking at the pictures. That was like a 2 plus, 2.5.
2.5. Okay,
so I'm about to raw dog some Vegemite and go no butter.
Oh, you're going no butter. Oh, all right.
I'm going no butter.
So you could do in the Not Greg special. I would say even looking at this as like spectrum here, I might even be like a 6.5 or a 7, like, because I can still see bits of toast on number 6. When I have Vegemite, you can't see the toast. I am full lather, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed.
Here, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
Okay, and then we'll pop it on the.
We'll pop it on the thing.
I'm really getting into the habit of putting more visuals on the podcast, because I've never done that before until the last episode with Koira and Cecil was just being cute as fuck, so I had to put a photo up. And now we're 2 photos to put up on this.
We're multimedia now. This is an extravaganza.
This is not great for people listening on like Spotify or anywhere else. There's a whole bunch of places you can listen to this podcast, and I'm not even sure about half of them.
That's what I'm working with. No butter.
That is a lot. You smooth that out.
It's very small. That's like a quarter. It's like a quarter of a corner of a piece of toast.
I think smooth it out a little bit so it's like more level.
I mean, that's gonna be 1 bite. I'm just gonna put it all in my mouth.
All right.
It's small enough that I'm just gonna pop this in my mouth. All right. Now the question is, do I put it in toast side to the tongue or Vegemite to the tongue? Do I just lay it on there like a fucking postage stamp?
I don't know, man. I always go Vegemite
I'm gonna do
side
it.
down.
I'm gonna do it. I'm doing Vegemite down. This is the butter. This is like the butter battle book, where it's butter side up and butter side down. We're doing Vegemite down. I'm gonna press it onto my tongue. Here we go. Wow. Whoa.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Once again, not unpleasant, just confusing.
It's a flavor punch. Man, I like that you're liking it.
It's like if somebody like what never mind. No, fuck it. This podcast is unapologetic about anything.
Dude, lay it on me.
It's like if someone were going down on you and then moved to the balls, but then like nuzzled their nose cutely like into your taint, and you're like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not gonna turn you down, but what the fuck?
She just slips a pinky and you're like, oh, okay, that's okay.
Well, hold on, wait. I have strong stance. Nothing in my booty.
Yeah, dude.
Not a booty kind of guy.
Me too. All right, we'll high five that. I can make the jokes, but
with our clean hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Once again, it wasn't bad, but it was just weird.
Yeah.
I think I'm more of a 4.
Yeah.
Because I think that was too much. That was too much to the point. I mean, obviously with my reaction where it's like, whoa, what do I do with this? Now, however, this gives me a great idea.
Oh no.
For a game. So I turn 33 next week.
Hey, happy birthday for next week.
Old as fuck.
That'll be before. Oh, wait, when next week? Because this.
The 24th.
Oh, so in a few days.
This will probably come out after.
Yeah. So we're recording this on the 21st, and this comes out on the 1st. So we're recording a little bit in advance. So you say next week? That's 3 days, man. Or 4 days.
Well, I mean,
4 days
for me right now, this is the 20th. This is Saturday for me. That's why I'm saying quote unquote next week.
Yeah.
But think about this for a party game.
Yeah.
Little Russian roulette where you have Nutella spread on 5 pieces of toast and Vegemite on a 6th, and everybody just kind of reaches for a piece.
See, I don't think that wouldn't work because they're not the same color. Vegemite's
or chocolate, like something. There, it definitely looks like a dark chocolate. It looks like a piece of dark chocolate spread of some sort. It really does.
Vegemite is like so different because like it's more.
Nah. It looks like a very rich, spreadable, like decorative dark chocolate.
I've never seen it that way, but I guess I've been eating Vegemite since I could like breathe, so
yeah,
I could pick it out from a mile away. Like if someone has like a bit of Vegemite smeared on their like finger or something, my first thought is not that's shit. I'm like, wait, that person's got Vegemite on their finger.
You sniff it out, you're like, is that Vegemite? And then you just start licking their face.
Oh, dude, I would. Oh man, you underestimate. Like I said, I'm literally wearing a Vegemite hat right now because I love Vegemite so fucking much.
You bring some Vegemite into the bedroom?
Never done that actually.
I don't know if that would be safe.
What's that? That's a good little segue. What's the, without outing your partner, your wife too much, what's the weirdest?
That's true.
What's the weirdest like food item you've taken into the bedroom?
So as far as food items, so I guess we've I don't know if we've really done anything like that. We've had like chocolate covered strawberries before, like for Valentine's Day, and we'll eat it on the bed and then like get in the mood or whatever. Maybe whipped cream or like I think there was maybe one time we did do some stuff with Nutella, and that was exhausting because it's too rich. It's too rich. I'm gonna be honest. I think we went a little hard and heavy with the Nutella, and therefore couldn't go hard and heavy later with other things. We were like, I'm so fucking full. I just can't finish.
I found that I tried like whipped cream once, and I'm not a huge fan of like whipped cream by itself. Because I thought like, oh, that would be really kinky to like lick whipped cream off your titties. That'll be really kinky. But whipped cream by itself, man, don't like the taste, don't like the smell. I was like, this is awful.
What if we spruced it up a little bit like a fancy cup of coffee, put a little cocoa powder on top?
Yeah, see, that's a little bit different, but just whipped cream by itself. But one thing that I did once with an ex,
Probably pop a spoonful of Greek yogurt on there.
Dude, I would die.
Just unceremoniously.
I eat a lot of Greek yogurt, so
Me too.
I had a fridge full of it. But one thing I did once with an ex, which I thought of randomly, and I don't know why, but I ate cheesecake off her titties.
No, now that's living large.
And I don't
that
know
cost
why.
Extra.
And it wasn't
Did you
like... Yeah, it wasn't like...
Did you just take a wedge and just like slide it in to the cleavage, just like down?
See, it wasn't like I didn't like just rest it on her titties. I didn't like put it just gently on there. It was like cheesecake smeared all over.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad if she ever listens to this because we're still friends.
Nice.
So that's butterscotch cheesecake. I even remember the flavor of it.
Ooh, butterscotch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had butterscotch cheesecake. That sounds decadent.
It is.
That sounds great.
Pretty good, man. I fucking love cheesecake.
Just that fact alone, I'm going to say this right now. Very classy lady.
She is actually.
Butterscotch cheesecake.
I don't want to say her name, but she knows who she is, and she knows that I love her very much. So.
Well, I hope that wouldn't be a long list of people in your life.
Well. Anyway.
Specifically with butterscotch cheesecake titties.
Dude, I fucking love titties, and I fucking love cheesecake. It's a fun fact. Cheesecake is my favorite food in the world. Just American baked cheesecake is my favorite. And I eat it like maybe once a year. And I haven't eaten it so long because I'm on a diet.
It's the same with me. I maybe have it once or twice a year just because I just don't. I could go to Walmart right now and just buy a cheesecake or Kroger, like any place, any bakery in town, and probably order some. And most any like fancy restaurant, any restaurant where I'm going to spend more than $30 on my meal, I can probably also get a slice of cheesecake.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I just don't. I just don't.
Same. I don't. I keep it, and I do it every once in a while, just as a nice little special treat, because it's my absolute favorite. And I know if I don't treat it as like a treat, I will overeat it and I'll get sick of it. But for now, I love cheesecake so fucking much. But I haven't had it in like probably nearly 2 years now because I've been so health conscious about what I'm eating.
Yeah.
But now I really want to go up and get a cheesecake.
Don't get a whole cheesecake. You know, you can, unless you have that like kind of what is it called? Addictive personality, where it's like you find something. Yeah, I'm the same way. Where it's I find something that I really enjoy, and it's like I want to do this all the time. Like I don't. Why would I stop doing blank?
Why would I stop doing something that I love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm having such a good time with this. I just want to do this every waking moment.
Like eat cheesecake off titties.
Yeah, exactly.
Yet
another Australian specialty I will have to try sometime.
It's the Not Greg special.
It's the Not Greg special. It's just Vegemite off of a nipple.
Dude, that is actually one thing I want to try one day.
Vegemite cheesecake. I don't know.
I think that's a thing, actually.
I would not doubt it.
Because Vegemite's very good for using in recipes. So that's a good thing if you don't want to just eat the rest of the jar of Vegemite, you don't want to waste it, you can actually use it in other recipes and stuff. It's a really good replacement for like soy sauce, for you like just amping up like a salty flavor to certain things, like thickening soups and stuff like that, and adding a bit of salt to it. So definitely
I'll have to mess around with it a little bit and see what all I can do with this, as far as like making an entree or a meal of some sort with it, and not just eating it like with butter on toast and stuff like that.
Vegemite cheesecake is absolutely a thing.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it for a moment.
Kind of good. Because, I mean, there's a good thing. Vegemite and cheese work really well together. So another thing you could do, if you get like a slice of like cheddar or like a really sort of mild, hard cheese, particularly cheddar, works really well with like a slice of Vegemite toast and a bit of like cheddar cheese on top of it, like a nice thick piece of cheddar cheese. That works.
We've got some
really
English cheddar here that's kind of mildly sweet, a little nutty. I may do a little bit of that and try that. I bet that's really good.
Fucking well, man. Yeah,
I do have one other item,
sandwiches.
and this is where I have to ask your expertise about how should I prepare my Milo? Does it go in water? Does it go in milk? Is it hot? Cocoa?
Okay, so with Milo, you can do it hot and you can do it cold. I know people that only ever have Milo hot, and I know people that only ever have it cold.
It seems like it's kind of like, it's powdered chocolate like Nesquik or Ovaltine that you can kind of, or it looks like Swiss Miss. Like you could just have it as a hot chocolate, or you could have it as a chocolate milk.
Yeah, exactly that. So I only ever have it cold. I only ever have it with cold milk. Never mix it with water. Don't ever do that, man. That's disgusting.
Well, I mean, that's kind of that was a suggestion on the package or whatever that I bought. There was like, put it in water, and I was like, I don't know about that.
That is for like when you do like hot chocolate. So you put the boiling water, and then you mix it in that, and it dissolves a bit more. Because when you put it with like milk and cold, it doesn't dissolve. So you get these like clumps of like chocolate sand all throughout it. So what I would do, I again with Milo, just like Vegemite, I have a lot of it. But I'd maybe go with like a tablespoon.
I'm gonna go and fetch this. I'm gonna go downstairs and bring this back, and we'll cut that segment out. I went. What I was able to purchase was the cheapest option that I had. These are like kind of individual sticks that have pre-measured powder in it.
Oh.
So, but what I could do is either do 2 sticks, or I could do 1 stick, and instead of doing it in like 6 ounces of milk, I could do it in 4 ounces of milk if I want to try it a little stronger. But I'm gonna have to go downstairs and get that together. So let me go get a glass of milk. Let me go cook the Milo, and I'll be right back.
And we'll have a word from our sponsors in the meantime.
All right, I'll be right back.
I don't know any sponsors. If you want to sponsor me, please let me know at Craig Gaming on Twitter. Please sponsor me. I'm so poor. All right, back to the podcast.
All right, so this is a package of 18 stacks, pecs. What is this other language on here? I don't know.
Can you send me a photo? I want to see what it is you've got on this.
Yeah, let me show you what I've got. It says Nestle Milo, so I've got the right thing.
Sure that it's the right stuff, man, and you're not getting gypped. Did you just get these through like Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to as well after you've done your little Milo taste test. I want to find some like American foods for me to try that I probably haven't. Yeah, that looks right. It looks like it's
I don't know what language this is on
Australian, though. Yeah, I don't know what
I have no
language
clue.
that is. That is, I'll put a photo up of this one as well. Because that is the logo, and it looks like it's the same green. It's the Milo green, and it's got the person doing the sport on the front, as it always does.
Is that what this is? Is a sporty drink?
That's what they try to market it as, but it's
No, there's no fucking way I'm drinking chocolate milk and running around. I'm gonna vomit immediately.
Yeah, they always
A
try to
horrible idea.
market it as like a sporty kind of thing. It's for athletes. But
Active
it's
Go
not.
Proto Malt with vitamins and minerals.
It's just
Whatever.
it's Nesquik, but it doesn't dissolve like Nesquik does. That's all.
Oh no. Okay, so this says add. See this on the back. It says add 200 milliliters of hot water at 80 degrees Celsius. And I'm not going to be doing that. So 200. Hold on, wait. 200 milliliters. Let me see. I've got to convert.
I'd say just go with the cold milk. If you like chocolate milkshakes. Although I really don't want to set you up for it to be a chocolate milkshake.
Yeah. Okay. So it's about 200 milliliters is about 6.5 fluid ounces. So let me pour.
I want to say I want to make sure you go into this knowing it's not like a chocolate milkshake.
Oh no! I assume it's going to be chocolate milk.
No,
It's going to be.
It's not though. Again, like Vegemite, it's like it's a familiar sort of thing, but it's a bit different. Like chocolate is like the closest thing you can kind of relate to it, but it's more like malt.
Oh, I love malt. I love malt.
It's closer to malt than it is to chocolate. Chocolate's just like
I'm
kind of
gonna
what people say. It's kind of like when people like Nutella is chocolate flavored. It's not. It's hazelnut.
It's hazelnut.
Yeah, but people say that it's chocolate because like it's the
Here.
closest thing that they kind of relate to.
I'm going to do something that I probably shouldn't do, but I've got the smallest little bit. I'm going to freebase this off of the spoon. No, I'm going to take just the smallest little drop of just the powder. I'm just going to kind of swish it. No, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try it. Let's see what the flavor's like. I don't fucking care. Like I'm so unafraid of trying food because the worst thing that can happen. Well, okay, the worst thing that can happen is I did a reaction that I didn't know would happen and I fucking die. That's always the worst case scenario is you die. But that's like who's gonna really worry about that? The worst case scenario is I don't like it, yucky, and then I just have something else to cover up the flavor.
Yeah, true.
I guess then past that is the extremes of getting like sick and then, like I said, death. But
I certainly hope you don't die from Amazon Milo.
Dude, what a weak way to go out. Please don't put this episode out. If I die, if you hear me choke and hit the ground, then cover my shame.
No,
delete this episode.
I will. I want to honor you. He went out trying new things, man. That's a good way to die.
That is true. All right, let me just try a little bit.
You just take a spoonful of the powder?
Yeah, well, not a full spoon, but like a little bit. I would say I had like not even a teaspoon of just powder. It's really good. Yeah, it does have a little bit more of a malty flavor to it, but not really strong malt. It's not like you're having a malt or eating like Maltesers or Whoppers or whatever it is you want to call that chocolate covered malt balls. All right, now I got this. All right, so let's do a little stir action. So what's new with you? How are you doing? We've talked about me a lot. I know this has been the me episode.
Yeah, this is my 1 year, and we've talked about you and you eating food and stuff. But this is the celebration of 1 year, not Greg.
Yeah, I've had.
We're almost done. Like we're over time for this episode already.
I could put a candle on this last piece of toast and we could blow it out.
that would be.
This is not stirring very well. I
told you it doesn't dissolve, man. You just want to get
fucking tragedy.
You just want to get the milk to like a disgusting sort of brownish color.
Oh, but it's just clumpy. My wife would not drink this.
It does get clumpy.
I'm going to tell you right now. It's just the clumping. She would turn her nose up at this. She's much less adventurous than I am when it comes to food, and much more picky.
If I can find a photo of what it should look like, so you kind of know.
Here to add to our multimedia. Here's a picture of what Let me show a picture of like how it's looking right now. And it's just...
I'll send a photo as well of what it kind of should look like. Yeah, that's kind of right.
You'll have to rotate it. That's should be sideways, but yeah. Oh yeah, so in the picture that you sent, this guy is proudly holding up a glass at like a house. Inside, I guess he's having like a Sunday supper or something like that. Maybe his daughter's getting married, and he's like, everybody raise a glass of mostly like beige milk with a good inch of powder on top.
This is hold on. This is a photo of how
is that what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah, man. This is how I have mine here.
What? They can't. No, that's like sediment on top. It's like I'm drinking. It's like I'm drinking silt.
I love it, man. If you
right,
just like mix that in, so you get it like a little bit wet and it clumps up, you get this like.
So you gotta chew my fucking chocolate milk.
Yeah. Oh man, this is turning me on a little bit.
But then I take a sip. See, that was mostly just like water. I take a sip and it floats up and away from me. I'm gonna get a fucking spoon. I'm just gonna eat.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just
you should have a spoon with
the
it.
layer off the top. I'm
Always
gonna eat the layer off the top.
Man, I don't know why they never have spoons in like the advertising thing for it, but everyone that has a cold Milo has a spoon with it, so you can eat the chocolate sand off the top.
Yep, that sure is just. I mean, it's like somebody was not able to stir Ovaltine together. Somebody just like gave it a good like stir and a half, and it was like, fuck it, like just go ahead and send it out. Here's your shit. But it's so weird that it's like not. It's like actively, it's fighting the milk. It's fighting being dissolved.
But it
doesn't want to be. It doesn't want to be the drink that it advertises.
But it's like 50-50.
It doesn't want to
like
be chocolate milk. It wants to be sand. It wants to be just garbage floating on a river.
How dare you? That's an insult to my heritage. I don't know if this is like a positive. Is this a positive experience for you or what?
It's just confusing because it like fails at being itself. It tastes fine. It tastes fine, but it's bizarre. I've stirred this thing now so much. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna get tennis elbow. I've stirred this thing so much, and it just refuses. It's still like I'm expecting like a face to press up and out of the thing and just be like, "You cannot defeat us. We are Milo.
We are forever." Man, but
it tastes fine. It tastes fine, but it's just like. I can't believe. No, here's what I think. Here's what I fucking think happened. Somebody made this shit. Somebody was like, "Ooh, yeah, Nestle chocolate powder and Ovaltine, all that stuff is a great idea because it's made from Nestle, so like Nesquik and stuff like that. So it's like, why don't we sell a version? Let's change up the formula." And somebody fucked it up at the factory, and they were like, "Oh, we got to throw this out. It's not good. It's not stirring." It's like, no. We can work with this. We'll advertise it that's what it's supposed to do, and people will fucking love it. And you've taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker. You dumb fucks.
And it's become a national phenomenon. That's like
I can't believe that it's like it's failing at its like its whole process. Its whole point of being is to dissolve into milk and make it chocolate milk. And it fucking can't.
It's not supposed to.
It can't be bothered. That's the thing. I think that's what it is. It's not that it's fighting me. It's lazy. It can't be fucking bothered to dissolve.
How dare you?
You couldn't. Crash. You can't. Like, you know what? Here's the thing. It tastes fine.
No.
But
here's
come
the thing.
on.
No.
It's
No.
powder. It's
Fuck
powder.
You. No. Fuck you. Insult my heritage. You insult my country, man. That's Milo. That's a national treasure. That's like Kathy Freeman or like Steve Irwin.
I like the Vegemite. The Vegemite will be turning 100 years old in 2 years.
What do you
It says
rank?
Since 1923 on the jar. I like the Vegemite. Milo, it's fine if you serve me if I visited you and you handed me a tall glass of sand, I'd be like, well, thanks. And I know that I'm getting what I'm getting into, and I like it. But I just think that like it's a mistake that somebody advertised and everybody loved it, and they continued producing the mistake.
Yeah. So what would you rank? So out of 10, what would you rank the Vegemite?
Dude, I don't know. Fucking Saturn. I don't know how to put that on a scale. It's so weird. I know I've said this, but it's so hard to convey the confusion that my taste buds have because it's so different than anything that I've had before. My enjoyment of it with the toast and butter, I'm gonna say I don't know, because it's like, here's the thing. So I'm trying to think. I'm not good with rating stuff like out of whatever, because I always second guess myself, and they're like, oh, well, eventually at some point you're gonna have me back on here, and I'm gonna rate something. You're like, wow, you put Vegemite at an 8, you put this at a 7. You think this is worse? I was like, but it's not. But it's different.
No, but it's different times
so
when you're rating things. You're in different situations. I get that.
I can't give it. I'm usually not one person to say this out of whatever, like how many stars or something like that.
We'll change it to thumbs up or thumbs down.
Not even that. Here's a much more tangible thing.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I would eat it again. I'm not going to race to finish this jar, but I enjoyed it. This is something that I would not, as a joke, tell people to try, like, oh, taste this, it's so bad, or taste this sauce, it's so hot, or something like that. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this. I don't see myself eating this very often, but I do see myself going for it when I have bread in the house, which I rarely do.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Vegemite. I recommend, if you have not tried Vegemite, try and find a place, if your local grocery store has like an international section. Mine doesn't have Vegemite there because I don't think it has like Australian food. It has like, Indian and British, but it doesn't have. Yeah. So I could have probably found some Marmite, but maybe not Vegemite. But I would say, yeah, give it a shot. I was surprised with it. It is unlike anything that I've tasted before, and I very much enjoyed it. The Milo, once again, it's not bad. It's just weird. Yeah. It's just confusing, and like I'm not gonna knock it. If that's what you like, go for it. But I just look at it and like, man, you're not even trying. You're not even trying to blend into the milk. It's just.
I feel like I need to get like a Milo hat or like a Milo shirt because I've got my Vegemite hat. I need to get like a Milo shirt. I'm just gonna start decking myself out in like full Australian gear. So I'll have like Lamington shorts and then some fucking VB thongs or some shit. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But
before I know you're about to close everything, but this is this special event, and I feel like gabbing a little bit. Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Milo and Otis? Have you heard of this movie?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. There's something to do with dogs, though, right?
Well, okay. So the story is Milo and Otis, and I remember growing up and loving this movie as a kid, and it's a very heartwarming tale of like of a dog and a cat that get like, I think that I'm trying to remember if they get abandoned or what happens, but I think maybe they live on a farm or something like that and accidentally fall into like a box in the river, and one of them tries to go rescue the other, and it's all done by this like single guy does the voiceover work for he does voices for all the different animals they meet along the way. He does the narration. They go through all this stuff. Very cute film. However, the dark underbelly of that film is, in filming that movie, I think they wound up like killing a few dogs and cats.
Yeah. Holy shit, I just got this on here now.
Are you looking at it right now?
Yeah, so they really threw a kitten off a 100-foot cliff. They fed a pug to a bear. So the final death count was 5 drowned cats, 4 mauled cats, and 2 cats pecked to death.
By seagulls, yeah, that scene happened.
1 swallowed whole by a snake. 3 dogs drowned. 2 were mauled. And 1, quote unquote, legitimately says it in the article, popsicle.
Oh my gosh.
There were more than 20 kittens killed.
So
what the fuck, dude?
Very, very, very charming, sweet film. But man, when I found out, like years later, because I saw that like growing up, I was like 3, 4, 5 years old. I would watch that movie, had no idea that was there, and then found out about that stuff like in college. I was like, what the fuck? No, not Milo and Otis. No, dude, don't do that to me.
It's a Japanese film.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Do you know it's a Japanese film?
I did not know that.
Apparently, if I'm not misreading this correct.
Yeah, let me look it up as well.
Milo and Otis, adventure comedy drama about 2 animals, Milo, an orange tabby cat, and Otis, a pug.
Yep.
The original Japanese version. Oh, so I think it was remade.
Either that or it was just dubbed. Release date 1986, so that's probably why I would have seen it growing up, because I was born in 88. Oh, here it is. Columbia Pictures removed 15 minutes of the original film and released a shorter English language version written by Mark Saltzman, narrated by Dudley Moore. Oh, Dudley Moore did it. Ah, okay, Dudley Moore. Have you ever seen Arthur?
The TV show?
No, oh my dude with 900 movies. Don't watch the remake. The remake was not that great. That's
with Russell Brand. Yeah, so the one with
Dudley Moore.
Oh, it was Dudley Moore.
1981. Dudley Moore. Dude, you got to see it. It's such a good movie.
I've actually seen the Russell Brand version. I used to like it a lot.
Here's the thing. It's okay, but the original is so good that like it's almost like insulting to try and do a modernization and remake and stuff like that. And also Russell, so the thing is like, if you watch the original, the comparison between the two is Russell Brand is like this kind of his comedy style and kind of his personality and also kind of what he plays. He plays himself in a lot of movies. It's kind of like this rock star kind of a guy. The character of Arthur is a little bit more, he kind of like affluenza. He's very rich and doesn't really, he's almost like childlike mind in like a 40-year-old's body, kind of going around doing whatever he wants because he has money. He lives in he sleeps in like a race car bed kind of a thing. Like I'm trying to remember all that stuff. So he almost has like a childlike mind and way of viewing things, but it's so charming. And the trying to get Russell Brand to do charming is like he
comes off too sexually aggressive when he's charming.
You see him. Well, you see him.
Oh, used to, I should say.
And yeah, exactly. Like all of his like stand-up routines and previous film version experiences and everything like that almost taints it so that it's like I can't see anything except for rock sex god whatever Russell Brand trying to be Arthur. Anyway, you should totally see the original. The original is a fantastic movie. But yeah, so Milo Notice was narrated by Dudley Moore in '89, and then it goes down. There's a soundtrack, and then there's the animal cruelty allegations.
Fuck, dude. Thanks for ending this on like a downer note. About a movie that killed a bunch of animals, man.
Well, you named your favorite drink after a cat that died 20 times.
Okay, let's back this up a little bit. One, I didn't name Milo. That's existed before I was born. Two,
I don't believe you.
It's not my favorite drink. Funnily enough, it is just something that I'm very proud of as my cultural heritage. So, you know what? Fuck you.
Introduced to Australia in 1934.
Yeah, see? So that's like 60 years before I was born.
Yeah, so actually Milo was in 34 and Vegemite was in 1923. These are as far as the country is concerned, these are old brands.
Yeah, man. Like when was like Coca-Cola? That was around
that time. 1889 or something like that.
1886. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I thought it was around the 30s or so. Oh well.
But still.
Crash. So you've tried Vegemite. You've tried Milo. I want to have you on the podcast again, of course.
Okay.
I love you and I want you on again. In the next.
Love you too, babe.
Next time that I have you on, I want to try some foods from either like local Mississippian?
Yeah. Mississippian. You got
it. Local Mississippian foods or like regional American foods or something and stuff like that I might not have tried because a lot of Australian culture is heavily influenced by American food. So I feel like a lot of things that you guys have over there, we have over here and I've probably tried them. So I want to find 2 items that I can order online and I can try on the next time that I have you on. So do you have any ideas or do we want to...
I don't have any off because here's the thing. When I think of Mississippi food, I don't think of like packaged foods. I think of like Southern cooking. Like I think of collard greens with like ham hocks and bacon in it. I think of like fried chicken, buttermilk chicken, that kind of stuff, which is all like...
I could cook those and then eat them on the channel, but that's the very like usual sort of stuff. Like fried chicken's not that spectacular.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what we have down here is that kind of stuff. That's kind of like soul food, just very comforting.
Yeah.
Very just kind of family style like food like that. That's kind of like Southern cooking. Yeah. But as far as like an American, thinking of something packaged that you could buy and get shipped there, I'll have to brainstorm that. We'll talk about stuff and I guess that'll be a surprise for the people that'll have to tune back in to see you eat something and drink something American.
Yeah, I think we'll stick to the one food and one drink. So if we can find like some kind of like soda or something, and then some kind of like...
If I can find something that's local that y'all wouldn't, because that's the thing is a lot of American brands, their biggest export is like entertainment, because there's so many people that like around the world that watch like American shows and listen to American music. That's kind of our thing. Is we're a melting pot of cultures and everything like that, but we output so much just entertainment. And the other thing is like we have a lot of big brands. I don't want to have you like taste Coke because you can fucking get Coke everywhere. It's like a global thing. I'm trying to think. I'll look around to find something. I don't know if I'll be able to find something necessarily local, quote unquote, like from the South.
Yeah.
But I'll try and find something that is a smaller brand that hopefully you'll be able to buy. Hopefully won't cost you an arm and a leg to ship it.
Yeah. I will say.
But yeah, I'll look into that kind of stuff and talk with you back and forth and try and have you tried this? Have you heard of this? Blah blah blah.
I will say root beer is not a big thing in Australia. I don't know if I've ever had root beer. I don't know if I have. Is Dr. Pepper root beer?
Dr. Pepper is not. It is Dr. Pepper. It's its own thing, baby.
I don't think I've ever had root beer then. So that might be.
It's sarsaparilla.
I love sarsaparilla.
Well, that's what it is. So therefore, if you've never had root beer, you've never had a root beer float.
No. Wait, is root beer meant to be sarsaparilla?
Yeah.
What?
Originally, yeah. Sarsaparilla, yeah.
Sassafras.
Kind of. Not sassafras, no. Sassafras and sarsaparilla are
what
different things.
What is root beer called in Australia? It's called sarsaparilla. Okay, well, I've had root beer then because I fucking love sarsaparilla.
Yeah, I think sarsaparilla is the sarsaparilla flavor is a little stronger, and root beer over here, doing like Barks or A&W, is a little bit more of a sweetness, a little bit less of that. It still has bite. I mean, Barks' whole thing, their slogan is like Barks has bite. It has more of that in it, and also a little bit more caffeine. But like, I think that's what it is, because I've had old school like sarsaparilla sodas versus having a like name brand root beer, and the name brand root beer, they taste very similar, but the name brand root beer is just a little bit sweeter and a little bit mellower.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. Well, that'll have to do us. This has been a long episode.
I still got another piece of toast. I'm gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, you enjoy that. I'm gonna go have myself some breakfast now, actually, because it's still the morning for me. I need to go have some breakfast, even though I've been up for fucking 5 hours at this point because of a dog who's actually disappeared, which is always very scary when I lose sight of him.
You're quiet and somewhere else.
Oh, dude, I think he's asleep actually, so I'm kind of okay with
that.
that.
Okay. What good boy.
Crash, buddy, I love you, man. Thank you so much for coming on,
I love you too.
Man.
This has been a blast.
This means a lot, and all your support over the years, over the year, singular. We'll be saying years this time next year. But yeah, thank you for joining us, and Don't Make Me Greg, celebrating 1 year of the channel. It's so fucking awesome. So glad to have you guys here. So thank you so much. Crash, where can we find you?
You can find me twitch.tv, TheCrashTestGenius, and then same thing, my YouTube channel. My old YouTube channel was just CrashTestGenius. It is dead. There's content there, but like if you want to watch it, whatever. But my new stuff, all of my compilations and previous broadcasts from Twitch are on my YouTube channel, which is once again TheCrashTestGenius.
TheCrashTestGenius.
We should find a time to film again together. We've only done that once, and I had a blast with it. We need to find another time to have a little video together.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's do it. Let's do it. We've got.
Let's do it.
We've got a whole crew of people. We can do a huge fucking collab.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, guys.
Let's do it. Let's do it, baby.
Have a beautiful day. We love you. Bye.
Take care, everybody.